What's up guys, Simply Coco here, welcome back to my channel. So sorry that I've been gone for literally a whole entire week now, 7 full days. My last post was last Saturday. So yeah, I know we've been in this whole pandemic situation, but I'm finally back at work now, so it's been a lot harder to sit down and record and edit and voiceover and all that. So yeah, it's Saturday right now. I only work 45 minutes on Saturday. So that's why I'm finally able to get one out. I really hope I can start doing some pre-recording and so that I can at least still do 5 videos a week, at least Monday through Friday is what I'm hoping. So just bear with me. Thanks for sticking around. As you can see, I am doing a speed build today. This is a mid-century modern home. I don't really know what else to call it other than that. We are building in Oasis Springs because that's just kind of where you build mid-century modern homes in The Sims 4. But yeah, so right now I'm just doing the exterior. It's a pretty big home. It's not, the actual home itself isn't that huge. It just looks big because it has a really big backyard, and then the carport or driveway or whatever is really big. But the actual interior of the home itself isn't that huge, but it does have 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. One of the bathrooms is an ensuite to the master bedroom, and then there's a teens room and a kids room. And I'll get into more about the family when I get into the interior. But as you can see, I did put cars back here, under the carport. I got that out of debug. So if you don't know what the debug menu is or how to get to it, you open the cheat menu, Control-Shift-C, and then you do bb.show hidden objects and then bb.show live edit objects, and it brings up an entirely different menu of items that you can't get in the build and buy catalog. It's really useful. Everything in there is free. But it's just really hard to search through, and you can't eyedrop the objects and duplicate them. So when I don't have to use the debug menu, I stay away from it at all costs, but sometimes you just can't help it. My main reason for going in it is to get plants and stuff that you can see around the lot, because a lot of the plants that are around the certain lots aren't in the build and buy catalog, and the ones that are, they're like a different color and they're just weird and don't look as realistic. So I tend to always go into debug for landscaping. But yeah, so as you can see, I am on the inside, and I was building this from reference. Sorry, I probably won't pop up the reference photo. There really wasn't much to see. It was a Airbnb listing, I think somewhere in California. I'm not sure, but all I could see was the front of the build, and it was at a weird angle. So even the front of the build is kind of like my own interpretation of what I saw. And then as I flipped through the pictures on Airbnb, there were some photos of the rooms and the living room and stuff. The closest, the most accurate thing that I got from the photo was the living room. That's the one I copied the most from the photo. But everything else was kind of just me picking the same colors and stuff that's in the living room. This is just a small dining space, and then that half on the other side of that half wall ends up being the kitchen. As you can see, I'm doing it now. So I'll just say this just because I haven't done a video in a while. I have, kind of acquired my own building style where I will furnish every single room first, and then I will go back and clutter all the rooms. That way you get 2 kind of views of the room, because speed builds can move pretty quickly and you can miss something really easily. especially like if I'm talking, like if I pause and I tell a story about something and I'm not talking about what's happening on the actual video, like that can distract you and you're not really even paying attention to what I'm doing on the video because you're listening to my story. Like I do that a lot. Like Lil Simsy or Devin Bumpkin or someone I'm watching can be furnishing and then they go off on a tangent, you know, and then I've completely missed what they just did because I was more focused on their story. Yeah, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, I love when they go off on tangents. I'm just saying that's why I built this way now, where I do, you know, I furnish every single room and then I go back and clutter. That way you have two different, that way you can look at the room two different times. But I will say in this build, I started this build last Saturday after I posted my last video and I didn't finish it until today, which is 7 days later. So at some point I just lost, at some point I did just lose all motivation and, stopped cluttering and got lazy, and stopped recording and then was like, okay, I need to go ahead and do it and finish it, and then finished cluttering off camera so you don't actually see some of the clutter, but you will see most of it. As always, if you want to see the whole thing, download it in your game. Just make sure you turn on move objects before you do so nothing disappears. My gallery ID is simply Coco_94, I believe. That sounds bad that I don't know, but if there's not an underscore, then it's just simply Coco94. But I'm pretty sure there's an underscore. Anyway, as you can see, I just put a 4 wide or a 3 wide couch on this wall, and now I'm putting this like storage unit, and there's 2 rooms behind it that don't have doors yet. So later on I will have to change that. I get rid of that couch completely. I do end up putting a smaller 2 seating couch. I end up putting one, it's a base game one. I end up putting one there instead of that longer couch. And then where I just put this mirror and the plant in the trash can, I really liked that at first. But then when I go to furnish the hall bathroom, then I end up putting the washer and dryer right there where that mirror is. And I just moved the mirror behind the little mid-century looking storage unit. I put 2 and kind of merged them together. You'll see that a little later. I end up really liking it and it being really cute. There's no real color scheme to this house. It's a lot of oranges and a lot of reds. It's a little bit more colorful than I would have liked. I would have liked the color to be toned down just a little bit. But I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I guess it's just I don't tend to build very colorful unless like it's a boho build or very style specific or very like personality driven. Like in my New Leaf apartment series where I did the lesbian couple, Stephanie and Pia, Pia was the one that decorated, and she's very outgoing and just a very bright person. She's from India, and you know, they have a lot of like colors in their decorations and stuff. So it was very colorful and it worked for that build. But for this one, I would have liked something a little more toned down, but I think it still came out really pretty. I'm sorry that I'm rambling about absolutely nothing and not the build at all, when I just said that not talking about the build can sometimes distract viewers and they not realize what's going on. But with me being gone for a week, I just, am rambling and just have a lot to say, apparently. But yeah, this is the master bedroom, if you didn't know that already. I really, really liked how white and brown it was, and then just throwing a pop of color with that painting. That's probably one of my favorite paintings in the game now. I used it in not my last build, but the build before that, the realistic modern home. I used it in that build too, and it really ties a lot of things together, especially when you just want a pop of color. I really enjoy it. This room is the teens room. So The teen has the biggest room, and I know that doesn't really make a lot of sense, but the master bedroom has a ensuite bathroom, and this one doesn't. So that was kind of my like justification for it, as to why she could have a bigger room than the parents. And I mean, I guess technically this, like the second half of the room, that the other side of that archway, that technically could have been like a whole bathroom she could have had to herself. But instead of doing that, I kind of made it this like entertainment space for her. Excuse me. You'll see me furnish it in a bit, but I just put a small TV over there and a gaming system. I don't know why I gave her a gaming system. It was really just to put something else onto the console that I put the TV on. And then I gave her an amp, and I gave her a blue couch. So now that I'm on her, let's talk about the family, because it will kind of tie into her room and what I decide to put into it. But after I do her room, you'll see I go to furnish the hallway, and I put the linen table from laundry day, and I just imagine that's where they put their linens after they've done laundry. And I put the little guitar memorabilia framed thing, I don't know what pack it's from, but I put that above it. And when I did that, it made me think that the dad used to be a famous a famous Spanish musician. So I imagine this being a Mexican family, a Latino family, or something of the sort. I would imagine the mom and dad speak fluent Spanish. I mean, they also speak English, but they probably have a rich Spanish accent. And I imagine the kids were born in the U.S., but the dad was a famous musician. And yeah, and the daughter, she really enjoys music. She appreciates music because of her dad, but she's definitely more of an artist. That's why I have the easel in here, and then that's why I put these paintings on this side, because I imagine she painted those. And then this is me giving her the amp just because I imagine she, would still really be into music. But she's definitely more of a painter, but she's still artsy. She didn't gain the musical, what am I trying to say? She didn't get the musical gene, let's just say that. But she is still artsy. This is me doing that hallway now. And then after I do this, I'll move on to the kids' room. The kid is going to be a little boy. It's going to be her brother, obviously. And he's going to be the one that kind of did get the musical gene in the out of the kids. And so in his room, this is the guitar I end up putting. So in his room, I end up putting the violin that the kids can play. So I imagine him, being very highly skilled at that. And then maybe when he's a teen, he'll get a microphone and a music producing station and all this other stuff. And maybe he becomes famous like his dad. Maybe he becomes a famous singer. At one point, there was like a rumor that they were creating a music pack, like where you could become a singer. I don't know if I dreamt that or if it was an actual rumor I saw. I believe I did see it, so maybe we know that they're releasing Eco Lifestyle. We know the stuff pack that's coming out is Nifty Knitting, so maybe the game pack has to do with singing or being a musician or, an actual singer. I mean, I don't see why we can't be. We can be an actor, so why not be a singer or a dancer or something like that? I'm a dancer myself. I actually teach dance. That's why I only worked 45 minutes today, because I had one class. But I would love to see like a performing arts pack or something like that. Maybe that is what we're getting, because in Eco Lifestyle, if you've watched the live stream and stuff, one of the like community initiatives that you can vote on is to support the performing arts. So maybe that's like a clue that the next game pack is about the arts. But I would just love more arts careers. Like, you can be an actor, so why can't you be a dancer? Why can't you be a singer? Why can't you be a background, whatever. Why can't you be a director? You can be a comedian, so why can't you be on Broadway, whatever, whatever. So maybe that's the next game pack. I wouldn't mind that at all. But this is the little boy's room, so this is the kids' room. And I just put some things around, and then I realized his room was too big because there was this big old empty space. So as you can see right now, I do make it one tile smaller, and then I have to go and mess with the roof to make it fit right. It doesn't make sense because the rest of the house is just, a box or a rectangle rather. But I got lazy and didn't feel like furnishing and or cluttering anymore. So I was just like, screw it. I'm just going to make his room smaller. And it ended up working. But even when he grows up to be a teen, there's still room for a double bed, and all of that stuff. So yeah, I really wish kids could learn the guitar skill, but all they have is a measly little violin. And I don't even think it gives them the violin or guitar skill. I think it just gives them creativity skill, which I guess if they get a high enough creativity skill, maybe it will help with their guitar skill or piano skill in the future. I don't know. I haven't played actual gameplay of The Sims in quite some time, probably since before the whole quarantine business is the last time I actually played The Sims, and I really hate that. That's why I really want to start a new Let's Play. But my last Let's Play, maybe 6 or 7 people watched each episode. It was one of those Let's Plays where I had to jump between households, and it was a little bit too much for me for my very first Let's Play. So I decided to kind of go ahead and cut it. Maybe I'll bring it back in the future. I don't know. But so my next Let's Play will definitely revolve around one household where I don't have to switch between them. That will limit editing as well. But I'm not going to start that until I reach 100 subscribers. I actually just got another subscriber today, AJ Sims. So AJ Sims, if you're watching this, thanks for subscribing today. Your notification just popped up on my phone about 4 minutes ago. That's why I'm able to shout you out. So you made 70 subscribers. So 730 more, and I will start a new Let's Play. So tell your friends, whoever, and yeah, I'll start a new Let's Play. That one is going to be, I'll give a little teaser. It'll be about a group home. That's all I'll say. It's about a group home and people that live in a group home, period. But anyway, as you can see, as far as this build is concerned, I have started cluttering. I finished the kids' room, and then I did the hallway bathroom. There is the ensuite in the parents' room. You will not see me furnish that on camera, but if you want to see it, download it off the gallery. It should be up, if not today, definitely tomorrow. And now I'm just cluttering. Yeah, after I clutter the kitchen, that's kind of where I start getting meh. But then I realized, oh, you have not done the backyard. So I still have the entire backyard to do after I clutter this up. Not much went on here, so I literally was just going through the clutter menu, and anything that fit up there, I put up there. But as you can see, now I'm in the backyard. Those 2 circles, foundations that I put down will serve a purpose later. I imagine this family is very big on hosting parties and stuff because they have 4 different seating areas outside. This being one of them, and it can hold 8 Sims, and there's only going to be 4 in the home. But I'm a part of a lot of Sims groups on Facebook, and one person posted a hot tub with like bar seating around it, and I really liked how it looked and enjoyed that idea. So that's what I did there. And then I think you'll see me try to place an actual bar out here, but I just couldn't lay it out right. So I just imagined, so I gave them a grill, and then I imagine maybe they just cook on the grill and then they eat on the bar. And then I put one of those serving trays, I think from Spa Day or Island Living, where they can actually like serve drinks off of it. But it's more like lemonade and not so much quote unquote The Sims 4 juice alcohol, but still. So this orange flooring does actually glow. So if that's weird to you, just put one of the concretes on there. I went with the orange because, again, in the reference photo I was looking at, there was like this really like geometric orange and blue and white flooring that they had down on one of these like circular decks, but we don't have that in The Sims. The closest we have is the Moschino stuff wallpaper, where it has like the stripes, but obviously that's not a floor, so I couldn't put it. But obviously the big color used in this house is orange, so I just went with that orange floor. I think it's in miscellaneous flooring, so it does kind of have a glow to it. If that bothers you, just change it. I do end up putting a lantern on the table so that it does have some light over there, and obviously I'll put some outside lighting as well. Over here, I really didn't know what to put up here, so I just pulled out a few different things. And then so I put this wine thing, I put the like sauces, the lemons, and then two of those that came with either Perfect Patio or backyard stuff. It's the like flower with the candle object. I added another chair to that white patio just to make it more full. I was gonna put an actual pool over here in this corner, but then I thought like, no, I don't feel like doing that. And then I was like, okay, they have a kid and there's not a whole lot out here for the kid to do. So that's why I have the kiddie pool, because I imagine, you know, the kid might want to get in the kiddie pool before he would want to get in the hot tub. And then I gave him a swing set. And then I do end up putting a light over there by the swing set, just because I imagine like a lot of their parties will like be at night, and maybe while the adults are sitting at the bar eating and drinking and stuff, the kid might go over and play on the swing set. But yeah, I really had no idea what I wanted to do with the terrain back here, so I just went with all gravel, mostly because in the reference photo that's what it was. It was a lot of gravel, it was a lot of big rocks and dirt. So I just did gravel and dirt. And I actually just now realized that when I went and did the landscaping back here around the base of the trees, I didn't put any of the big rocks like I put in the front yard, and I should have. So it has the same stuff as the front yard, just a little less. Like, it doesn't have the big prickly bushes, and it's just because they have a kid, so I imagine they wouldn't want like a whole bunch of cactuses and stuff back here, just in case the kid were to like get to it. So the cactuses that I do put back here, I try and like bury them or block them off with other plants, so that like realistically the child couldn't, you know, get to them. But I mean, kids are kids, and he might probably still could, I don't know. But it's The Sims, so the kid isn't gonna go poke himself on the cactus anyway. And it's a debug cactus, so they can't touch it anyway, because your Sims just walk through debug objects because they're not technically objects. They are, but they're not like usable objects. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, your Sims can walk straight through debug landscaping because it's not supposed to be there. But yeah, the screenshots are rolling. I'm sorry for rambling. I promise it won't be another week before I'm back with another build. My next build will be another New Leaf apartment series, so catch that tomorrow, and I will see you all then. Bye!